this is an organization. It is Crispan, the biggest in the North Central and going to be the best by the grace of God. So we have to put something on the table. So I expect each and every one of you to give this your full attention and let us see a difference in the quality of service that you provide. First is that I'm impressed with the way you are all looking. You're wearing your maintenance outfits and you look like the professionals that have been hired to handle maintenance issues in Crispan Hotel. I would just want that these uniforms are looking much more finer. All right, so we're going to get to more and we'll ensure that you look like those who work with the best of the best. Now, the first policy we are looking at under the maintenance department is the lockout procedure. Francis, have you heard about that before? All right, good. So we will keep learning. Is that not so? This is an opportunity for you to learn something and implement. So we're looking at the lockout procedure. So let's proceed and see what it's all about. Now, it is a policy of Crispan Sutures that a lockout procedure will be implemented to ensure that no plant equipment is serviced unless properly isolated and made safe. That is what lockout procedure means. All right? That it's made safe. Now imagine that maintenance work is happening on the lifts, okay? Work is ongoing and this procedure was ignored. No sign, nothing to tell somebody, to tell a guest that please don't use the lifts. Maintenance process is ongoing and the person walks into it. What do you think could happen? Maintenance is ongoing, but there was no sign, no signal, no announcement, nobody knows. And the person walks into danger. The person can be trapped. Is that not so? The people who are even working on the lifts can be endangered. Is that not so? So that tells you why this lockout procedure is important. Anything, and not just the generators. At least the generator parts, we know that people don't work in there, guests don't go there, staff don't go there. So when you are even working there, you can, there should be a tape, a safety tape around that place, that maintenance work is ongoing. Then even something like the plant, so something like the lifts that we are using, if maintenance is ongoing, the people should know, guests should know, out of service. Is that not so? Out of service, and let there even be a signal or sign that shows them, please do not use the staircase. So it's all about safety, the safety of the maintenance people, the safety of the guests, the safety of those who are around there, even the staff. Now, the purpose of this policy is to ensure maximum protection of all employees working on such equipment. Prior to working on any electrical equipment located away from the main breaker, an engineering supervisor will switch off the breaker and hang a tag indicating caution, men at work across the breaker. So we need to have these. We need to have these. OPM, are you taking notes? So we are not just going to read, but we would implement. We need to have all these caution signs available that we can put to signify that people are working, so that we don't endanger your own lives even while you are working. No employee is authorized to remove the tag without clearance from the supervisor or make any attempt to start the isolated equipment. So even when we have invited people from outside to come and service our generator, to come and service any electrical thing, to come and work on anything, once that sign is there, there has to be a clearance that says this work is done and fit. This work is done and we can commence usage. Is that not so? So there should be a clearance form from the supervisor or from the operational manager or the maintenance manager, the facility manager. Somebody has to produce a clearance so that if something happens to someone tomorrow and they say, oh, but somebody came to work on it. Yes, the person came to work on it, but is there any clearance that shows that the person has finished working before you, the maintenance staff, goes into that place? And if there is no clearance, the blame is on who? On the staff. because you didn't see any clearance. So even if, as you are a maintenance person, let me tell you, when you know that work is done somewhere, don't go in there unless your supervisor of the chief maintenance person shows you a form that says it is good. That is what they call clearance form. Is that not so? The person tells you that you can commence your routine checks. You can commence working on that place. The major work is done. It's cleared. You can now work. So once the work has been completed, the technicians will request the supervisor to remove the tag and energize the breaker, indicating that the equipment is now safe to use. So you can see, for your own safety. So this same lockout procedure for plants, we're going to apply it when we are working on anything that can harm anybody. We're going to apply it, especially when the person is coming, for instance, coming to fix maybe the gas cooker, or is coming to the kitchen and they are not taking that equipment out. All right, the person is going to do the repairs and maintenance right there. It's important we also apply this same procedure. Place a sign that shows that something is happening here and a clearance before they start using it. So that is all about the lockout policy number 2, elevator policy procedures. Now, it is a policy of Crispan Suits that elevator trouble reports will be made to the contractor as soon as they occur. We have contractors, we have people who installed the elevator, and we are also working with them to provide routine maintenance and repairs of the elevator. Now, the purpose of this policy is to ensure that all elevators are fully operational at all times, to ensure that neither guests nor employees are inconvenienced. Now, the department heads, as well as the department heads, assistant manager should immediately call the maintenance extension and report the problem. Now, when there is a problem, they call your department first. Is that not so? They are not supposed to call the contractors. So once there is a problem, they call the maintenance units to report the problem first. Then once the complaint has been corrected, the person in charge, either the supervisor or the chief engineer, will inform the engineering order taker. Once the complaint has been corrected, you will have to inform the order taker that this has been corrected. All right? Now, the engineering order taker will inform the person who originated the complaint of the immediate status of that elevator, so that they are not stranded. They have already called to say that this is a problem we are experiencing. Is that not so? Then you have fixed the problem, but you don't tell them that you have fixed the problem. What happens? There is a hanging problem in their mind, and the guests can even ask them, can we use the lift? And they don't know what to say. Meanwhile, it has already been rectified. So you see why feedback is important. There is an order, there is a complaint that has already been raised, and the complaint has reached you. It has been fixed. You communicate back. So the engineering order taker will inform the person who originated the complaint of the immediate status of that elevator. So are we clear about that? So this is simply how to report a problem with the elevator. So there is a two-way communication. It shouldn't end at fixing the problem. They will now discover that it has been fixed. So let it be that the complaint is raised, your attention is called, it is fixed, then we communicate back that this situation has been taken care of. Now, this is the policy on annual engineering operations review. This is very important to me, very, very important. Annual engineering operations review, policy number 3, very, very important. So I'd like you to pay close attention to this. Now, it is a policy of Crispan Suits to conduct an annual internal review of the mechanical and electrical facilities, including the performance of the engineering department. An external review will be conducted every 2 years. Are you seeing that? Which means that we carry out the internal review. Is that not so? Then we call external reviews after how many years?
2 years.
Is that simple? Are we doing this? So this is what we want to start doing. This is what we have the maintenance department for, and we will start doing that. Now, as a self-audit of the engineering department is to be completed by the director of engineering of each unit on a yearly basis, 3 to 4 months prior to the external MOR. A copy of the report on the completed self-audit is to be awarded to the MOR leader, the general manager of the hotel. Internal audit. What is the state of everything that is in Crispan that has to do with the engineering department? Do you know? What is the current situation? Mr. Boniface, are you here?
Yes, ma'am, here.
Yes. What is the state? If I ask you what is the state of the generator now, do you know?
To some extent.
To some extent. All right. So every other thing that has to do with engineering department, and even if you know, do I know? I don't. Do you understand? That forms part of your report. So internal audit, what that means is by mere looking at your report, I should be able to tell that in the next 2 years, we should be thinking about changing this. In the next 3 years, we should be thinking about auctioning this, selling this, and bringing. Why? Because you carry out internal audits to tell us the state of every single thing used in Crispan. From your advice, the advice that comes from your department, you can tell us, please, this particular item, the wear and tear has become too frequent. When we look at our report, we are repairing and fixing it every month. This is the amount of money we are spending on repairing and fixing it. Rather than do that, why don't we just replace? Advice from your department, but you can only give that advice if you carry out this internal audit to tell us the state of everything in your department. Not just it has broken down, emergency, emergency, we need to fix, we need to repair, it has broken down. What advice are you giving to us? What is the state, what is the condition of everything in your department? So this shall be based on detailed site inspection and physical examination of plant and system, review of supporting documentation. Now, for use by the MOR leader during the MOR, life safety, administration, energy management, plant preventive maintenance, guest room servicing, housekeeping, laundry, kitchen and food and beverage operations. Do you understand this part? So we have the budget, we have engineering systems, we have public areas, recreation facilities, garden and grounds, departmental participation. Now, inspection checklist. The inspection checklist is divided into a total of 10 sections. All right? The inspection checklist is divided into a total of 10 sections as mentioned above. So I don't know if the next one is going to give us the detail. If not, I can now share it here. So we have the food and beverage operations. They have fridge, they have freezers. Is that not so? We have the laundry. We have laundry equipment there. Then we have the plants. We have the generators. We have many things. Is that not so? So from your department, these things are supposed to be grouped. Then it should be clearly stated when routine maintenance should be carried out. For generator, for instance, how frequent should maintenance be done there? Is it once in a month, once in 2 months, once in 3 months?
A check daily.
A check daily, okay.
B check every 100 hours.
The fourth policy is on energy management. It is the policy of Crispan Suites to practice and support energy conservation efforts, and is the duty and responsibility of every member of the hotel team from top level management down to the last employee in order to implement an effective energy conservation strategy. The cooperation of all departments in the hotel is absolutely essential. The objectives set should be realistic, specific, attainable, and measurable. Formation of an energy conservation committee to meet on a regular basis to review progress and to present ideas and recommendations, as employees will be the key to the success of the energy conservation program. Plans to have regular training sessions must be prepared. Are there ways that we can conserve energy here in Crispan? Are there things you can suggest? Is there anything you have noticed? That is what this policy is all about. If you have noticed ways that we have been wasting use of energy, then you are supposed to suggest that. You're supposed to make recommendations. So energy conservation, that way you're saving the company, you're saving your organization a lot of money. Once every conservation measures has been taken, they must be constantly maintained and kept perpetually ongoing. The engineering department will continue to update the program at regular intervals and must include information on state-of-the-art technology that assists in energy conservation. That is clear, right? So number one is that you have to develop something from your department. Something like, if you're leaving your office, turn off your lights. Is that not so? Policies like that, it should come out from your department as a memo. Then during the general training, general meetings, you can educate, even if it's just 5 minutes on energy conservation. You talk to the staff, you talk to everybody that these are some ways you can help the organization to conserve energy. Don't waste. Don't leave anything that you're not using on. Don't leave the lights in your office and go home. Always put it off. Or you are passing and you see that there is light on where it's not needed, you turn it off. Sometimes some halls are empty, nobody is inside, but the AC is on. And you see the chairman running to go and put it off because it's he who wears the shoe that knows where it bites. But we are a team. We are supposed to be one. So when you see things like that, you should know that, this is energy wasting, and you put it off. So this should come from your department. Enlightening, teaching other staff, please, let's conserve energy use.